Hey guys, Songboy13. This is a fairly brief video. I was supposed to have done it on Saturday, but I just haven't had a chance to get this up. I had stuff going on. This is just a brief outlook from the Hurricane Outlook for early September 2018. As we know, we can only know up to 2 weeks in advance. We can't know about a full month. But this is just some certain areas with Hawaii and the Gulf Coast of Florida near that may be in high risk this week. Why? I'll mention about it. Some of you may know already from other YouTubers, but I thought I'll just share my information. So this is just the update. So we know Hurricane Norman will no longer be a major hurricane at that time, when it reaches Hawaii. Dangerous surf will be stirred around Hawaiian Islands during the mid to latter part of this week. So Norman is tracking towards the Hawaiian Islands, as we know, but it's not anticipated to be a repeat of Hurricane Lane and its duration of torrential rain. So Lane approached Hawaii from the south and unloaded the most amount of rain from a tropical cyclone in Hawaii's history. So prior to this year, a Category 5 hurricane has never came as close to Hawaii as Lane did. So while currently a powerful Category 4 hurricane, Norman is expected to be a tropical storm when it tracks down of the islands later this week, or tracking north of the islands. Okay, so for Norman, as you can tell, will probably be a Category 3 hurricane near roughly now as I'm speaking. Category 2 Monday night, and then because the ocean temperatures will be gradually cooler, Category 1 storm will be around Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and probably just a tropical cyclone or tropical storm by Thursday. Just as I just said, approaching north of Hawaii. But is Hawaii completely safe for the next latter part of the week, next few days ahead? So as we know, Norman will slowly weaken as it encounters gradually cooler waters and slightly more wind shear over the next couple of days. So wind shear is the changing of speed and direction of winds at different layers of the atmosphere. Strong wind shear can shred apart mature tropical storms or hurricanes. The track to the north will also keep the heaviest rain of Norman away from the islands. So if Norman tracks close enough, it may increase showers across windward locations late this week. So prior to that sinking air which dries out the atmosphere, ahead of the storm can lead to most of the islands being rain-free at midweek. So regardless of the exact track, Norman is expected to stir another round of dangerous seas around Hawaii. Seas that turn choppy this weekend as Moran passed by will further increase Wednesday into Friday at the east and north-facing beaches. The conditions may become too dangerous for swimmers and surfers. Boaters may be forced to remain in port on those days. There can also be incidents of coastal flooding and beach erosion. So this is just a clip I want to show you. It will be the latter part of the week, Wednesday to Friday. Norman will veer away, but as you can tell from about hundreds of miles, it'll just create like big rough surf waves, large swells. Again, North Hawaii is currently at threat, like particularly central Hawaii may be probably suffering a mini rough surf, but towards southern Hawaii, if you're going there on holiday or vacation, you may not be facing the ball of the brunt there. Then on the heels of Norman, strengthening Olivia is expected to curve to the northwest well before reaching Hawaii. However, spells from the future major hurricane can keep seas rough into next weekend. So residents of Hawaii need to remain vigilant for additional threats from tropical storms and hurricanes through autumn due to a developing El Nino. So because El Nino is a plume of warmer than average waters over the tropical Pacific Ocean, the warm water can sustain more hurricanes than average over the eastern and central Pacific, cause them to be stronger in nature and allow them to retain strength for a longer period of time as they approach to Hawaii. So regardless of any tropical threats, the developing El Nino should lead to wetter than normal weather in Hawaii through September and October. So there should be a turn to dry weather close to winter, as is typical during the El Nino. But Hawaii is not the only location in big risk this week. Gulf Coast of Florida is also having a bit of a rough time throughout the week ahead. So let's go for more detail. A storm that's expected to become Tropical Storm Gordon will spread flooding, rain and gusty winds from South Florida to the upper Gulf Coast from early this week. So a tropical wave as continues to batter organized and a tropical depression is expected to develop near South Florida today. So regardless of its exact strength, the system will spread heavy rain and gusty storms from the central Bahamas to South Florida on Labor Day, which is today, obviously. People hoping to spend Labor Day at the beaches of South Florida will likely need to adjust their plans. So flights into and out of Miami and Port Myers airports could face delays and possible cancellations on Monday. So motorists will need to be on the lookout for areas of standing water on the roadways that should slow down on the highways to reduce the risk of hydroplaning. So gusty winds are also expected, which will churn up choppy seas. An isolated tornado water spout can even spin up and cause further damage. So after passing by South Florida, further intensification can lead to the system being named Tropical Storm Gordon over the warm waters of the eastern Gulf of Mexico by Tuesday. That's been our 7th storm this season, so Monday today, about 2 PM American time, just across, not 50 miles, 100 miles west from Miami. Tracks its way northwards by Tuesday, mostly a tropical storm, hitting across, I think that's Georgia or Louisiana on Wednesday, and then heading its way northwards Thursday and Friday to maybe around Kentucky, Tennessee, most likely to be at risk. The key to how strong the storm may become is how much wind shear will be present. Wind shear is a change in wind direction and or speed with altitude. Strong wind shear can prevent tropical systems from strengthening. So, however, some wind shear can prevent developing systems and aid in their intensification. So seas will build across the Gulf of Mexico as the storm strengthens. Conditions will become too dangerous for swimmers and surfers, especially across the eastern and central Gulf. So, as we know, AccuWeather meteorologists cannot rule out the potential for the system to become a hurricane in the Gulf. The risk of wind damage and coastal flooding would increase if such strengthening occurs, but flash flooding may pose the greatest risk to lives and property along the Gulf Coast. So, regardless of whether this feature strengthens and earns a name, it will be a heavy rain producer. So, what can we expect the downpours from this week? Okay, well, this week, as we know, we just mentioned tropical cyclone around Gordon, just affecting south of Florida into the Gulf Coast. Strengthening may be expected midway up. Monday, some heavy downpours around South Florida because of the tropical blast of air. Tuesday night to Thursday, New Orleans, Louisiana could be at risk of some flooding and probably some power outages and some damage probably from Tuesday night into Thursday. So rain can become increasingly heavy along the Gulf Coast from the Florida Panhandle to Louisiana Tuesday into Thursday night. The storm is expected to make landfall along the corridor from Louisiana to Mississippi on Tuesday night. There can even be isolated tornadoes and coastal flooding each of the storm's track. So anyone living or travelling through Mobile, Alabama, Biloxi, Mississippi, New Orleans and Baton Rouge, Louisiana should prepare for potential travel delays and disruptive flooding, especially in the middle part of the week. So there is the potential for AccuWeather local storm max of 12 inches across a narrow swathe of the low Mississippi Valley. The duration and exact location of the heaviest rainfall will depend on the exact track of that storm. So the strength of the high pressure leading to a steamy first week of September across the east will help guide that storm. So the high may be strong enough to take the storm on a slow-moving west to northwest path over Louisiana into Texas Wednesday into at least Thursday, which will bring an extended period of downpours and heighten the risk of further flooding problems in these areas. The flood risk will further increase if the westward track pans out and the storm moves over some of the same areas being undulated with downpours through to Labour Day. So if the high is slightly weaker, the storm may track more to the north after moving ashore. So in the latter scenario, the storm may eventually join up with a non-tropical system across the northern tier of the country and enhance flooding downpours in the nation's midsection. So all interest from Florida to Texas should monitor this feature, AccuWeather senior meteorologist Alex Winnie said. So meanwhile, Tropical Storm Florence, just mentioned, will continue to move away in the Cabo Verde Islands and into the Central Atlantic later this week. That's all I've got to give you today. Hawaii, Gulf of Mexico, South Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana is at risk of some tropical storms this week ahead. So when you see this video being uploaded, it'll give you an update on what's happening with Central America's weather this week and North America. Okay, that's it for now. More videos to come soon. Any requests? Comment below. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out my recent holiday video if you haven't seen it yet. Other than that, more videos to come soon. Like, comment, subscribe. Storms now out.